This house is built on, or these houses are built on stilts, so they know they get flooded, and that happens. But to be flooded completely like that, with their entire lawns covered, that only happens every few years. Probably back in 2007. You can see the side ditch there that goes around the back of them. That's completely full of water. That might be virtually dry normally. Here's the Ock. Now, the great risk to Abingdon is almost never the Thames, it's the Ock, which comes round the back of Abingdon and through Abingdon. And although the Thames water can be managed, there's no way of managing the Ock waters that come from the White Horse Plain. So see the stilted garden, completely flooded now. Now we're coming down to former Ock Mill, and that's not as bad as it was in 2007 and has been flood proofed since that disaster. But you can see that its driveway is flooded here. The little bridge that used to be there, you can see the buttresses, which was blamed for preventing the Ock water coming out. That's been demolished. But it's flowing. Just a reminder, this should be quite a narrow little stream, and in front of those houses should be surrounded by a lovely lawn. This is not although it's called the Canal Bridge, it's actually the bridge which was built to get you to the canal. Right, so we're coming back to the Thames now, and normally, of course, these boats here, you should only be seeing the tops of their roofs. They should be a metre or so below the bank. Now, a sign of the flooding is when you get this sympathetic leak through of water here through the pavement somehow that fills the pavement. Here's the old Anchor Inn, which has seen many a flooding, of course. Now, if you look across to Anglesey Island there, the cricket ground, that's completely flooded. That's kind of normal. That's floodplain. And Helens, we've got floodplain in Abingdon. And here you can see the water's right at the level of the top wall. And these are the semi-official flood level warnings. The steps, there should be steps here, and of course you can't see any steps. They've all gone. Now, here's the historic flood, 1894. And there's, if you Google on the internet, there's some pictures of some boys standing on top of that wall with everything flooded. The old Anchor Inn, by the way, used to be here. It used to be kind of perched on this ledge here. It's been moved back. And here you can see the wide open expanse, and you can see all those boats. They're now quite away from any semblance of a bank. The council has provided scaffolders to provide them with more secure moorings. It's a lovely dry morning here in Abingdon, so that's a good sign. Every 24 hours dryness is crucial. This is normally the slipway, and to get boats in. It's very rarely used, but not much of a slipway now. And normally I consider it bad, these yellow lines. If the water gets above that, then that's high water, and that's as high as I've seen it, I guess. Last view of our St Helens, back along St Helens Wharf. And we'll pan to Abingdon Bridge. This is always one of the most beautiful spots to view Abingdon from. And those pink houses, they're the Maud Hales houses on Maud Hales Bridge, which is one of the 3 bridges that comprise Abingdon Bridge.